What we're going to do today is we're going to take apart a 1911 style pistol. This is a Kimber Pro Carry 4-inch bushingless barrel. A friend of mine was telling me the other day he could take his Glock completely apart. So I said, well, I can take my 1911 completely apart. He said I can do mine with an ink pen. So I proceeded to take mine apart with an ink pen. So the purpose of this is to show you old 1911 owners out there how to take apart your gun if you don't have tools, don't have anything other than, say, an ink pen, a matchstick, pocket knife, whatever you might have. First things first, we're going to remove the slide. Now the Pro Carry Kimber has a staked guide rod, meaning you can take just a piece of a paper clip or anything like that, a finish nail, whatever, because it has a hole actually drilled in the guide rod. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put in that hole. I'm going to take this here is actually a paper clip I've just bent and broke off. I'm going to stick it in this stake pin hole here like this. And again, a finish nail will work, many things work. Now I'm going to release the slide, push the slide forward, and push the slide stop from the right to the left. Pull that out, slide forward off the frame, turn it up, pull the barrel back, pull the guide rod back, up and out, push the barrel up and out. Now we're going to remove the firing pin spring, firing pin stock, and the extractor. First of all, firing pin. And I'm doing all this with something you can find around the house, an ink pen. This one here is from batterystation.com. Any ink pen will work. I'm going to push in and pull up. Now this is spring loaded. Make sure you have it pointed down and you are wearing glasses. Firing pin stop, firing pin spring. Now I'm going to take my ink pen, and to remove the extractors like a kind of a two-step process. So my ink pen, I'm going to push back into the slide, and then I'm going to push back and towards the outside of the slide all at the same time. Now, next step is I'm going to take my ink pen, stick in the slot where the firing pin stop would be located, push out. Now we have removed the extractor. So we have our complete slide assembly is completely taken apart. We have our slide, firing pin spring, firing pin stop, our extractor, barrel, guide rod, reverse plug, and spring, and of course our slide stop. Now what we have here, we have the frame. Slide's been removed and disassembled. Now we're going to disassemble the frame. So what I'm going to do is, if you notice, I have the hammer is in the cocked position. Now it's easier to take the mainspring housing off first, but for the sake of not using any tools except for an ink pen or whatever you might have, we're going to do it this way. So first thing I'm going to do, hammer's in the cocked position. We'll turn the gun, and I'm going to put some pressure on the hammer. And I'm going to start working the thumb safety up and down. Now, the plunger tube here, one of these plungers, they are spring loaded. So when I move the thumb safety out of the way, that can go shooting across the room. So what you'll do is put your thumb right behind the thumb safety to catch anything. So we're moving it up and down, and it's not, there we go. Okay, we have the thumb safety removed. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn the gun over. And again, always working from right to left. That's the way your slide stop comes out, and that's the way all your pins can come out. I'm going to, at this point, release the hammer, keeping my finger on it. Don't let it go. And I'm going to use my thumb safety to remove the mainspring housing. Put that in there. I've taken the pressure away from it by moving the hammer up. Push through. Mainspring housing pin. Mainspring housing, grip safety, sear spring, turn it over and around, remove my hammer pin and hammer, remove my sear pin, sear, and disconnect. Here's my plunger for my plunger tube for my thumb safety. For all practical purposes, that is as far as you will ever need to take one apart. The only thing I haven't done here is I haven't removed the grip panels. I can replace any part on this gun without ever removing grip panels, so that's not necessary. They are hex screws, so you could if you needed to, but I can replace anything on here without that. I have not removed the trigger. The trigger is one of the only things, the only part on a 1911 that requires any kind of a tool. It's also hex. So if I needed to remove the trigger, you know, you'd have to go that route, but the trigger is never going to break. It's never going to wear out. So that's neither here nor there. But for field use, if I have just dropped this gun in the mud, completely covered it in mud, and I want to take it all apart and clean it, I've taken it completely apart using an ink pen. It's all done.